going to pack up the office. I've decided for my final day at Elmbrook that I'm going to walk around to all the locations in this building where something significant or hilarious or stupid happened for me in ministry over the years I've been here. So, okay, let's go on that journey together. Let's go. This right here is a hallway, and I once got a carpet ball table stuck right there. Amphitheater. A middle school never used this room while I was here, but for the very first day that I was on staff, I was in this room, and I remember right over there, a little girl asked me if I was indeed going to be the youth pastor and that I could never replace the guy that came before. That happened my very first night. You see that great chair right there? And right there? And right there? All right, I put wheels on all of them. There's like 12 of them. I'm in the fellowship hall right now. Out the door right there is in the hallway. But right here is where I would put my cot and sleep for ID retreat. I would put my cot there. Curtis would put his cot there. And then there's this one year that some of our graduate students from last year, it was like, I feel like it was like David and it was like John. I don't know if Eric was there. They like were in this room. I think Reagan was there and they were talking to us forever and ever and ever. But that was kind of cool, actually. Right here is Feed My Sheep, and then they changed the name to Eatery, but I have always just continued to call it Feed My Sheeple, because I think it was clever. Oh my gosh, I have got to show you this. My massive Zorby bag chairs, loved by some, hated by some, so controversial. They're massive and they're heavy. They're the only soft things in the entire room. Ugh, they're dirty. I'm sitting in a bathroom. I'm not going to the bathroom, but I am sitting in my favorite bathroom. Boys' bathroom, by the gym, handicap stall, all the way. I love this. I'm gonna miss this one. This is like outside the gym. This is kind of like, I don't know what you would call this. This is where I filmed Peeps Explosion. Yes, I put Peeps here, and using fireworks, I blew them up right here on Elmbrook property. Almost got in huge trouble for it. Of course, is the gym, but check it out. Without you in this room, it's really just shabby, dark, and boring. This is where I led a middle school small group with the boys for 3 straight years. Dude, we would just come through those doors and just plop ourselves right here, and we would talk life and we talk Jesus. Coolest thing is these young men, they grew up into high schoolers, they joined the ministry, and where do you think they housed their small group? You got it, right in this stairwell. Dude, it was like history repeating itself. It was so awesome. I hung those curtain rods, man. Curtis and I made this, dude. Against this back wall, the 8th grade breakout on relationships and purity and stuff. Man, it was just good stuff. These are the yellow carts. Kurt and I, we went out of state to buy these from a really dodgy place. The reason why we bought them was also kind of sketch because we wanted to have students joust from them, and the day that we were going to do this at rain drove bad, so we couldn't actually joust. Maybe it was God's mercies that didn't happen, but of course the students were bummed. Oh man, here are the worship response boards, the prayer board, the Servolution one, the art boards behind it. Man, these things were great, just outlets for students to kind of pour out their heart in word and prayer. In service and in color and design. Colin Richter made that, my man Colin Richter. Still love that. Gosh, wish I could rip it off and take it with me, but it's gonna stay here. I did this thing a couple years back called Camp Hurrah, and we had this art track we called In Living Color. On each one of these, I got to do a Bible mural of a story with spray paint. It was chalk-based spray paint, super cool, but we didn't clean it off. And the stuff really got pretty much embedded into the brick, and they needed to power wash it. Matter of fact, I really think that's us. This wall right here, I made a video. I went like this, and I slammed my thumb against the wall, and I actually split my nail. Right here is where Kurt and I made the carpet ball tables. This here is the pond, and this is where I had the privilege of seeing so many of you make that outward display of your inward decision to follow Jesus right there where I dunk you. And if you remember my pro tip to you, bend your knees, because if you don't bend your knees, you just pop right to the surface, and I will use both arms and I will dunk you. Oh, such good. Honestly, baptism, summer baptism, probably spiritually speaking, the highlight of my year. Coming off of summer camp with you guys, so many of you having experienced God and wanting to get baptized. Baptism, summer baptisms in the pond. Oh, so awesome. This right here is where my first office ever was. It's since been remodeled, but like right where this wall was, there's just open space. And I just had a chair. And then some of my friends, they decided one day I needed a proper office. And so they built walls with cardboard. And that was my office. They even made a door, and they had a doorbell. I'll show you my second office right in this room right here. Oh, it's locked. It says Inspire Love, but it's locked, and it's ruining my video. But that's where my second office was. I shared it with Daniel Grams for a little bit, because the story goes like this. One day, the internet went down, and so Dan and I were bored. Because when the internet goes down, what can you do? And so we decided to move into this office, because it was open. It was awesome. That's what we did. And then my next office was this one right here. And I ended up in this space right here. It's got a sunroof. Light switch, and this is so this is the big barrel. I bought this for Camp Rod to be my podium, and it was the right decision at the time, but now no one knows what to do with this thing. Oh my goodness, I'm handing in my badge. There's the Benwa. This is the chair I've had like the entire time I've been here. I love this chair, but it's looking a little bit ratty. I mean, I'm used to that, but that's kind of gross. It looks like the chair has leprosy. Oh, I do have one last thing I want to share with you. You see this bomber? I am going to hide this somewhere in Elmbrook Church. And if you find this, you win. It's time. Let's go on that next adventure. Woo! Thank you, Jesus.